Hi there, thank you for joining us on another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Journey with us as we take you through the next half hour, filled with informative content. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stick around, the news is up next.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 10, 2021. Serious about containing the spread of COVID-19, the government has implemented revised measures for the next 3 weeks until August 31. They were announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness last evening during a virtual press briefing. Effective August 11, curfew from Monday to Friday will begin at 7 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. the following day. The curfew will begin at 6 p.m. on Saturdays and 2 p.m. on Sundays. Meanwhile, small and large events are not allowed during the period, and nightclubs and places of amusement have been ordered closed. Gyms, restaurants, zoos, and bars are permitted to operate at 50% capacity. As for beaches, those not under management control are to be closed, while those under management are to be opened between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday to Saturday and up to 1 p.m. on Sundays. Rivers are restricted for rafting and domestic purposes only. On the matter of public gathering, Prime Minister Holness says the maximum allowed for weddings, church services, meetings, and government events are 50 persons. Funerals are capped at 30 persons, and burials should be on Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
The strategy of the government, you will realize, is to gradually ease in the tighter measures. So we are now back to where we were in terms of measures in early May, thereabouts, when we were at a 7 o'clock curfew. We have not yet implemented a no-movement day. A no-movement day, however, is possible. And in fact, no-movement days, if the numbers do not show signs of improving, will probably come, give it 2 weeks from now.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government is still aiming to have a structured face-to-face reopening of schools in September. During last evening's press briefing, he said it was hoped the new COVID-19 containment measures would sufficiently reduce the numbers to make this feasible.
As it stands now, this goal is severely challenged. We're still hopeful that we would be able to have some form of reopening. We had targeted mid-September. But it really depends on what we as Jamaicans do in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Schools across the island have remained largely closed since March 2020, with attempts to reopen halted by surging COVID-19 cases. Putting the new containment measures in context, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that for the first 8 days of August, the country recorded 1,903 confirmed cases of COVID-19.
The geographic spread of the virus is now at a high level, between 50 to 75% of communities having active cases over the last 2 weeks. The reproductive rate remains above 1, which is not good. It's actually at approximately 1.3.
Minister Tufton was speaking at the COVID-19 virtual press briefing yesterday. On August 9, there were 316 confirmed new cases, with an overall count of 55,456 since the start of the outbreak last year. There are currently 6,543 active cases.
We are currently averaging 238 cases per day, which is nearly 5 times the daily number of cases up to July 13th. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has advised that our test positivity rate and our hospitalization rate are showing rapid increases.
Government will be implementing a community-based intervention program to increase the number of persons taking the COVID-19 vaccine. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the plan is being finalized and will involve bringing the vaccination sites and vaccine-related information into more rural communities.
So instead of the larger blitz that we mobilize persons to come to, even though some of those will continue, we're going to be spending some time now to bring the sites into communities, rural communities, urban centers, and so making it a lot easier to mobilize the population, the civic leaders, the political leaders, the church leadership to those centers to encourage participation.
According to Minister Tufton, health officials saw encouraging signs from the pilot community-based interventions conducted recently in West Central St. Catherine and Ligony in St. Andrew. A special virtual memorial service and candlelighting ceremony was held to honor lives lost since March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was hosted recently by the National Chorale of Jamaica at the St. Teresa Roman Catholic Church under the theme, Celebrating the Resilience and Unity of the Human Spirit. A candle was lit for each of the 14 parishes and one for the world. Member of the National Chorale and political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown says the lighting of candles is an important symbol used as tribute in memory and reflection of those who have passed away.
We know many families were unable to hold funerals in a timely way and were often without the support of their communities, and by this memorial, we express our support. The chorale believes that music, prayer, and these readings can be sources of respect, godly comfort, and fellowship. It is our fervent hope that the dearly departed from Jamaica and beyond will rest in peace. We pray that all those who have lost loved ones, who have been ill or otherwise affected by COVID-19 may move forward positively as together we face this continuing threat.
And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness congratulates the Jamaican Olympic athletes who participated in the recent Games in Tokyo, Japan.
Let me take the opportunity to thank our Olympians and to congratulate them. They have done an amazing job in the pandemic, and we have seen some heart-touching stories, the behind-the-scenes stories of their own personal struggles and how they have coped, and they have done well, and we are indeed proud of them. It has lifted our spirits during this very difficult time.
Jamaica finished 5th on the track and field medals table and 21st in the overall competition. Our medal count includes 4 gold, 1 silver, and 4 bronze. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
Coming up, Jamaica House Weekly with the latest updates from the Office of the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister champions independence in all its forms and launches $800 million social pension program. Plus, road infrastructure in Clarendon and St. Ann get attention. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Vaughn Davis.
We have long held a dream and a vision of a Jamaica, a land of peace, love, and prosperity. As we celebrate 59 years of independence, let us join hands and hearts in working each day to make this vision a reality.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's rallying call to Jamaicans during his Independence Day message. Mr. Holness says the island continues its pursuit of political, economic, and social independence. He urged citizens to take up the opportunities to chart their personal independence through government's push to create an ownership society and transformation of the education sector. Mr. Holness also called for greater social responsibility in the fight against the coronavirus.
The idea of independence is the ability to choose. And with that comes responsibility for the consequences of our choices. We are now faced with important choices as a nation. Jamaicans now have to choose whether or not to take the COVID-19 vaccine and to diligently observe the infection prevention protocols. Our choices now will affect our ability to safely reopen schools for face-to-face learning in September.
Independence Day also saw the Prime Minister participating in the National Emancipation and Independence Thanksgiving service by reading Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verses 9 to 12. Earlier in the week, Mr. Holness unveiled the state's $800 million social pension program. The initiative targets persons 75 years and older who are not benefiting from government assistance. Each month, the recipients will receive $3,400 from the non-contributory program.
The social pension program is a landmark achievement in the development of our nation's social protection framework for the most vulnerable in our society. I am particularly proud of the fact that we have been able to implement this program in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have been able to do this because of prudent fiscal management on the part of this government.
In the meantime, the Prime Minister says the implementation of the National Identification System (NIDS) bill will assist the state in expanding programs targeting the vulnerable in society. Mr. Holness says the bill, which is now before Parliament, will reduce duplication and identity fraud and increase access to state resources, all while boosting the island's quest for a digital society.
Behind the National Identification System is the need to be able to properly serve those persons who are in need. Because right now, you are going around with forms that people have to fill in. But we have demonstrated that we can reach as many persons quickly if we were to go digital.
And Prime Minister Holness used the launch of the social pension program to call for greater contribution to the National Insurance Scheme (NIS). Mr. Holness made a special appeal to self-employed persons and those employers who are not paying over contributions on behalf of their employees. According to the Prime Minister, only 47% of the employed labor force actively contributes to the scheme.
It means that less than half of the population aged 65 years and over would be in receipt of a pension. So you have a large part of your retired population that is not covered by NIS.
Over at the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, the minister responsible for infrastructure was on the road this past week. During his visit to St. Ann, Minister Everald Warmington announced that over $400 million had been allocated to repair roads, drains, and bridges in the parish. $45 million has also been approved to commence long-standing rehabilitation work on the breakaway in the Lewis community. Other projects include $25 million to carry out urgent river training work at Sleepy Hollow near Bamboo and $8 million to effect repairs to drains in sections of Bamboo.
We also have the gas station drain at Brownstone. We have the Brownstone Market drain also. They have a problem with that we looked at. You have the Barton Red Carpet Bridge that is undermined along with this Discovery Bay Bridge, and these are two other items that we'll have to look at very urgently to ensure that the problems that we have there are corrected and the citizens of the constituency will be protected along the way.
And by Thursday, Minister Warmington was in northern Clarendon to view road conditions. During the tour, he revealed a $20 million rehabilitation of the drainage system along the Colonel's Ridge roadway. $20 million each has also been allocated to improve roads in Kellett, Johns Hall, and Guinea Corner to Corner Shop.
From Capias to Colonel Ridge, there were 3 major breakaways that I'm asking NWA to scope for us. You have this landside up at Carnage Ridge to Kellits. You have Breakaway Kellits, you have McNeil to Douglas Castle. It's one of the mid-peak program that we did, our project, but then you have some damage there that I'm hoping that we can allocate some funds towards. And he has the Fairborn to Breakaway that the MP has asked me to look at. So all of these I've asked the NWA team to scope to see how best we can include them in our rehabilitation project.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one goal.
Have you ever wondered how the trash on the streets is removed? That is no other than the work of our very own street fairies. Up next, we look at how the National Solid Waste Management Authority is keeping the streets around you clean.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and drum, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in the company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing. So you have to work for it. Yeah, enough of the woman they work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I don't feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work I work for woman. Woman the man work nowadays. I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like my day out here, you know, she rather my day with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work I do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say for my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them not say, we move from there, say we don't thinking truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through it more easier for it. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it's bag up, it's more easier for it.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side men, side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. That's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere, and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sorts of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things then. And come back around and take it up, see, because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way, and I'm not really go for them though. I still think them have me, I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. How we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them. I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWNA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel.
I don't get me use a night time in the shovel.
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
Don't let the heat beat you down. Extremely hot days can affect your health, causing heat stress and heat stroke. Protect yourself. Seek sheltering from the sun and limit outdoor activities to mornings and evenings. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting, breathable fabrics. Hydrate with cool water and avoid sweetened drinks and beverages that contain alcohol. Don't let the heat beat you down.
Yes, the emancipation and independence period has passed, but we never need a special occasion to celebrate Jamaica's unique and beautiful offerings to the world. Offerings like our national tree, the blue maho. Standing 20 meters tall, this rare beauty bears streaks that are seen in polished wood. The blue maho is not only known for its beauty, but also its versatility. Stay tuned to learn more.
The blue maho belongs to a family called Malvaceae. It's the same family that includes ornamental shrubs like shoe black. So the scientific name for the blue maho is Hibiscus elatus. I imagine that the specific name, which is the elatus, would indicate the fact that it is lofty and grows to great heights. The blue maho, as everyone knows, is our national tree. Jamaica has well over hundreds of native trees. It's easy to understand that the combination of characteristics that makes the Maho unique is probably what gave it the edge over all those other hundreds of trees. The native range of the blue Maho is to the northeastern corner of Jamaica, which is Portland, sections of the Jonker Mountain. The blue Maho blooms in the latter part of the calendar. The typical color is a kind of flaming reddish orange. It's more red than orange. The older the flower becomes, the redder it becomes. It bears a pod that splits in the drier part of the early section of the year, the first quarter of the year. And the forestry department propagates the species by collecting the pods. We process them by drying them in trays, and then we extract the seeds. The traditional uses is a fairly wide array. It's used for furnishings, for furniture, for turnery, so you can make articles out of it.
The beauty of it is not much seen when you just cut it, but when the furniture is made and you look at it, you see various colors, and they go in streak and streak, and they're not looking so nice until when they varnish it. It's not stained or anything, just when they polish it off when it's finished. So they use it a lot now. It's strong. It reminds me of the lignum vitae, but the lignum vitae doesn't have those streaks in it like the blue Maho. So it makes it very special.
I think people confuse the name lignum vitae and the name blue Maho with their roles as national symbols, the one being the national flower and the other being the national tree.
I hope you are encouraged to properly dispose of your solid waste. Let's all play our part in keeping the streets of Jamaica clean. For more informative content, subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website, jis.gov.jm. You can also download the JIS app from the Play Store. It is both iOS and Android compatible. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. All good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.